We think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We think there are many more crimes. And my concern is that Weiss may have indicted Hunter Biden to protect him from having to be deposed.
Yes.
In the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday.
He indicted him to protect him. Yes. The classic rubric. He indicted him to protect him. I got it.
Well, look, Jake, this whole thing's been about a cover-up. You know, you've got two.
That's why he indicted him to protect him, to cover it up?
Well, you indict him on the least little thing, the gun charge, and not paying taxes.
He's facing like 17 additional years in prison.
Yeah, but look what he's done. Anybody else?
That's what you're saying, but the counter argument might be that it's not that he's only charging crimes that cannot be traced to President Biden. The counter argument might be he's only charging crimes for which there is actual evidence. And that would lead me to my next question is, can you name one piece of evidence or testimony that directly and credibly connects President Biden to any of this proven misconduct? Proven.
We believe President Biden committed a quid pro quo when he leveraged $1 billion of U.S. taxpayer money in Ukraine in exchange for firing the prosecutor, Shokin, who was investigating Burisma, the company that Hunter Biden just got charged with receiving substantial sums of money and not paying taxes. We believe that Joe Biden was directly involved in the termination. We believe this, Jake, because he admitted it on tape. That's one crime.
The entire. We'll get to the second in a second, but.
Now, I've made a few videos with this theme of, directing it straight at conservatives. The theme is, the message is, they are not with you. This guy, James Comer, is not with you. He is playing you guys for fools. He is not trying to convince the left. He's not trying to convince liberals, right? All the games that he's playing is for conservatives. The people who should be most offended and have the biggest problem with right-wing media and the Republican Party should be the Republican base and conservatives. You guys are getting insulted on a daily basis by morons like James Comer, who thinks you guys are so stupid, right? He gets online. Just the fact, the minute that he started saying about $1 billion, whatever, I was like, no way is this guy in 2023 still talking about that bullshit. I mean, it's just so it's like, this is like, and the thing is, they do some projection, because when he goes on Newsmax, he says something about the reason why Jake Tapper is doing this because he's playing to a low IQ audience. But what could be more low IQ than James Comer talking about some bullshit that has been explained so many times for years now? So we know James Comer knows that it's bullshit, and yet he thinks his audience is so clueless that they won't know. It's not like it's new and maybe they didn't hear. If you didn't hear this by now, what really happened? Then you on some fucking rock, or you just totally clueless. I mean, number one, look at how ridiculous it is. He starts off saying that he said it on tape. First of all, it's 2023. Well, it wasn't 2023 when it happened, but this is recently. So I'm sure it wasn't on tape. Nobody fucking uses tape anymore, right? Anyway, he said it's recorded. And that right there is like the first red flag. Why on earth would Joe Biden be openly admitting to a crowd some crime that he committed? Now, if you are some really, really disrespectful right-winger, you really have no respect for right-wingers at all, right? You're a right-wing, media guy, and you have no respect for conservatives, right? Then you're going to get super conspiratorial and say, that's how bad things are. That's how corrupt they are. They're mocking us. They're saying it out in the open. They don't even feel they need to hide it. Look at it. This is craziness. They're putting it right in our faces. Right? You go straight up Alex Jones. on this. Right? If you on that level, that's where you go from that. But everybody else should know better. Joe Biden is not going to admit to a crowd of audience on recording some kind of illegal activity. And this has been discussed time and time, so many times this has been discussed, right? What Joe Biden was doing was official government policy. If you disagree with the government policy, then you should talk about the government policy, not Joe Biden. Right? It's not like he was being a rogue and doing his own thing for his own self-interest. This was the official policy of the United States government. And it was the policy, if I'm not mistaken, across the globe. I guess ally nations were on board with this. Right? So only the lowest IQ, the least informed audience in 2023 doesn't know this stuff yet. Right? That's who he's talking to. He thinks that conservatives are so clueless that they don't have the ability to research this themselves, look into it, and see what's actually going on. He thinks they're just a bunch of lemmings and are just sitting there cheering on the right-wing media. Oh, Joe Biden did a quid pro quo just like Trump, and he said $1 billion, and he just said it out in the open, right? And you're just like, oh man, those corrupt Democrats, oh, those Democrats are so corrupt. Like, no skepticism. No, wait a minute. I don't trust the media. The media, right? Not liberal media or left-wing media, the media, right? I know that business in this country is very corrupt and very dishonest. These politicians are very dishonest. The media is very dishonest. So if the media is sitting there and telling me, Joe Biden did a quid pro quo, and I know that it's right-wing media I'm listening to, so even though I'm right-wing and they're right-wing, I know that there's a conflict of interest because since it's right-wing partisan media, I know that they're going to be dishonest to me about things about Biden because Biden is the opposition, right? So right-wing media is going to be incentivized to be dishonest about Joe Biden. So if they're saying something bad about Joe Biden, I need to look into it myself because just like left-wing media is incentivized to say negative things about Trump, right? So when I hear stuff from the left-wing media talking about Trump, I got to be skeptical because I know that is their bias. They love to go after Trump. Trump did this and Trump did that, right? Regardless of whether you think he actually does stuff on a regular basis, you do know that they will get rewarded financially for pointing out something that, oh, Trump did this. And since they're dishonest, the media is dishonest, we can expect that they might make stuff up. So if they're saying something bad about Trump, you might want to look into it, right? But if you're watching right-wing media and they bad-mouthing Biden, anybody would have a brain is going to be skeptical, right? You could look at Biden as corrupt as I do. You could, not have any respect for Biden, like me. But regardless, you recognize that, okay, I don't like Biden. I think he's corrupt. But this is right-wing media talking about Biden, and I know that they will make stuff up. They will exaggerate stuff because they will make more money doing that. So I can't trust what they're saying. I can't trust what an individual who profits from talking about how the Democrats suck. I can't trust that as a source for something bad about the Democrats. I can take them as a lead source. So they point out, oh, look what Joe Biden did. But I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Sounds like something he'd do because I think he's corrupt. However, I can't take your word for it because I know you're incentivized to lie and exaggerate about stuff like that. So thanks for giving me the lead. Now let me go look into it myself and I'll make a determination of whether I think he did something or not. Right? They are not with you. This whole Hunter Biden thing is BS. It's insulting to conservatives. It's insulting to the right wing. Right? This is the GOP and its allies in the media acting as if Conservatives are just a bunch of juveniles that can't think for themselves. They don't have any comprehension skills, right? They're just a bunch of morons, right? That can't see that this is all political games and ooh, they impeached Joe Biden, so now they impeached Donald Trump, so now we're gonna impeach their guy. Hey guys, your guy did stuff too. Oh Trump, but what about what Joe Biden did? He said a quid pro quo. They're not with you, man. They're not with you. James Comer has no respect for the American conservative. James Comer is a clown. He's corrupt. And there's no way that I should be more bothered by this guy than conservatives. Right? Because he's doing this to you guys. He's making you guys look like fools. He's treating you guys like fools. Right? If I were a conservative, I would take it personal. Right? I would have no respect for James Comer right now. I would be highly offended that he thinks that I'm so stupid that I would fall for this BS. If I were conservative, I would probably even more don't like the Democrats. And I would welcome the GOP going after them and exposing them. But this ain't it. Right? I would be like, for all the corruption that the Democratic Party does, why in the hell are you guys wasting all this time with this obvious nonsense? Why do you hate us so much as American conservatives? To keep on making us look like a bunch of fools. Fuck you, James Comer, you fucking moron. Well, I forgot to mention, one thing that's really bizarre is how many right-wing influencers and politicians are so cartoonishly ridiculous. They are ridiculous, but they look and sound as ridiculous as they are, right? It's not like this guy he doesn't look and sound like a regular guy and then he's saying nonsense. No, he looks like, it's like so obviously a clown. Listen to this guy. So, Joe Biden, the thing with Joe Biden is, the Hunter Biden laptop, Joe Biden, he did a quid pro quo, and, Jake Tapper, you don't want the American people to know the truth and freedom, and I'm a patriot, and we're gonna do patriotic things, and the American flag, and I love this country, and this and that, and freedom, and we're gonna save the kids, and America is the greatest country on earth, and we're gonna build a wall, and the Democrats are communists.